Hey friends, it's me, Pastor Doug, with another word of encouragement for the day for today, Friday, November 12th. And today's word comes out of the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verses 29 and 30. And in it, we continue to explore a powerful series of phrases that God uses to describe himself and his own character all the way back in Exodus chapter 34, verses 6 and 7. And if you've been with us for the past few weeks, you know that we've been diving deep into that passage and exploring what God says about himself. And towards the end of the passage, we get to a phrase that makes many of us squirm, because God says that he does not leave the guilty unpunished, which makes many of us feel a little bit uncomfortable to associate God with punishment. Even though we know it's true, it still makes many of us feel uncomfortable. Well, when we take that passage and we lay it alongside what we're going to read here in Matthew chapter 5, I think we begin to see a clearer picture of God's heart for you and me. In Matthew chapter 5, verses 29 and 30, Jesus is smack dab in the middle of what's called the Sermon on the Mount. Now, we don't know whether it was one complete sermon or this is Matthew's kind of a patchwork of various things that Jesus said, and he kind of puts it all together. But regardless, these are the words of Jesus. He says this. He says, "If your right eye causes you to stumble or causes you to sin, gouge it out and throw it away." Which we, upon a literal reading of that, kind of freak out a little bit. Well, we know that Jesus isn't literally telling us to gouge our eye out. He goes on to say this. He says, listen, it's better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. And if your right hand causes you to stumble, chop it off and throw it away, because it's better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to go into hell. Okay, so what is Jesus saying here? Well, I think we can safely state that Jesus is not saying that we should go around maimed and chop out, cut out our eyes and chop off our hands. Jesus is using hyperbole, which is an over-exaggeration in order to make a point. And the point that Jesus is making is this, that sin is so damaging and so destructive that whatever we have to do in order to eliminate patterns of sin in our lives, Jesus says, it's worth it, because the consequences of sin, the damaging, destructive consequences of sin, are far worse than the inconvenience of eliminating whatever it is that's causing us to sin. So, friends, here's what I'm going to invite you to do this weekend. Do a little self-introspection. Pause and think about, in my life, is there anything that's causing me or leading me into patterns of sin? Is it my phone? Is it my computer? Is it a particular relationship? Am I sort of flirting with sin in a particular area of my life? Is it my business? Is it my finances? Is there some area of your life that is causing you or leading you into a pattern or a habit of sin? And according to Jesus, he says, whatever that thing is, get rid of it if it's leading you to sin. Because the consequences, the damaging, destructive consequences of sin are infinitely worse than the inconvenience or the embarrassment of getting rid of whatever is leading us into sin. Friends, I hope that this word encourages you today. I hope you have a great weekend. Encourage you to join us on Sunday morning for our services in person. And if you live out of the area, then you can join us online, and we'll pick these videos up next Monday. We'll see you then.